Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogel here with today's micro market recap. It is Thursday, May 12th, just after New York close. With today's micros market recap, let's get right into it with oil. Let's open this up here. So oil opened inside of its range, immediately had some buying, tons of buying pressure, but it was not something that really granted any decent setups. There were some, just not exactly what we may have been looking for here. There were only probably about a handful in oil today. They had a high that they just could not get over, and once you have something like that no one wants to get over, you only have one direction to go. And then they found that floor again. Ultimately, we did finish net higher in oil, though. It didn't feel like a huge progress. However, they did finish positive for the day. Gold finishing negative over here. Opening up, you can see we just kind of seemed to go sideways. Very choppy. They did not want to bring this down any lower. It felt like they were really reluctant on driving it down. Someone fighting that tooth and nail. But we did finish ultimately net down in gold. Equities, that's a little bit of a different story. We are still net down. Not by much. But you can see we opened well below that close. Had some initial buying. So they set that high there. And it looked like the sellers were going to take charge and possibly drive this for the afternoon and get lower. But ultimately the buyers stepped in, making a floor. So we have this brick here. And they broke it, but could not maintain that momentum, and they just kind of seemed to go sideways until they finally broke it again, got back up into the range, got to their close, and they tried as hard as they could to bring this market up, but ultimately finding their ceiling here around 39.60 and coming back down. And they did have some rallies around these levels of support. Back up here to our contract low. Eventually, they did drive it down one more time, but they just could not get past this massive floor here. And again, if you cannot get past it, there is no one wanting to sell it any lower than this. And someone's propping that up. There's only got one more direction to go, and that was up. And they brought it all the way back up, pretty much to the close of yesterday again. In the last, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so from that low, maybe an hour. I could be off, but similar story in the NASDAQ. Opening gap down. Let me scroll through for you. Initial buying, and then you have your ceiling, and then they just drive this down, have a floor, and then again they broke through it, and they just didn't have that oomph that you're looking for, and it just was a battle all the way around until they finally broke it one more time, got back towards that range, and then they got into those HVAs. They get trades available here that we have based off our methodologies from the HVAs that are given out the night before. Yeah, there was not very many HVA opportunities today as we were below the contract low for most of the day in our equities. But with that said, they finally did go positive above that close. And again, just like the ES, they found a ceiling they just could not get above, and they got driven down. And much like the ES, they just found a floor eventually here. And towards that close, last hour or so, they drove it back up. You can see how choppy it was, fighting tooth and nail to get up there. But ultimately finishing net down on the day, making some new lows in our contracts here. With that said, today was not a really that great of a day for an HVA entry. That happens occasionally. Not every day is perfect. Not every trade is going to be perfect. You have to be aware of that. If you are interested in learning more about these high volume areas, or HVAs as we call them, learning the methodologies around them, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us online at targettradingacademy.com, or go to Facebook and find our page there. Get in touch with the representative, and they will quickly show you, well, maybe not quickly. I don't know how quickly they talk. They'll just show you around what we do on an everyday basis, and you'll be able to see for yourself what we do, and you'll see that we are the #1 trading education company for your own eyes. We look forward to seeing you in the room with them. And if you haven't already checked out the win-loss break-even videos by Patrick using this methodology, or Dan O'Brien's methodology for his win-loss videos, go check them out. We look forward to seeing you in our rooms each day.